What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another comic video. I'm doing a second round of the GoCollect Chartbusters series. These are 10 top sales from the modern age portion of the list. And these are all going to be from the last 10 days, so just before Christmas. And all of these are going to be first printings, non-variant, non-signature series. These are all slabbed CGZ 9.8s. I just want to get an idea of what the actual selling price for these comics are in the modern age without any of the variant factors, I guess you could say. So let's just jump right to the list. At the number 10, we have Captain Marvel number 14 from 2013. You know, first appearance of Kamala Khan in cameo. The final sale was $7.75 and the 90-day average of $6.39, and it's on a downward trend. I suspect this will still be going up overall because of the Kamala Khan Miss Marvel show, as well as the Marvels movie, where there's the three Captain Marvels, right? This book, if you can't get the all new .1, this is probably the next best one, because even though that's also a first appearance, but it's the full, it's, you know, more than double this value. So this book should still see some steady gains. I know it's on a downward trend, but I think that's going to be going up the closer we get to the show and the movie. Number 9, I feel like I'm always talking about this, Saga number 1 from 2012. Very famous book from Image, and the final sale price was $7.82 with a 90-day average of $7.49. This is actually still going up from the last few sales, and this seems to be something that, you know, even if there isn't any kind of show, movie, or any kind of option series for this book seems to be always in demand. So I think this would be something to pick up, you know, now, because I feel like this won't be dropping anytime soon, because if it's always going to stay around this price or more, steadily going up, and there isn't anything going on, imagine when something does happen, then this will just spike tremendously. So be on the lookout for that if you can still get these in the raw. Alright, number 8, we have Invincible Iron Man number 9 from 2016, the first full appearance of Riri Williams. Final sale $850, 90-day average $738. This is definitely on an upward trend. I know I did a list from the comic link, and this was up there too. It's pretty high, and it's actually going up even more, because $850, and we're definitely creeping closer to the $1,000 barrier. And I suspect the closer we get to Ironheart showing up in her show, as well as Wakanda Forever, this is almost a lock for $1,000. So try to get these if you can before it gets really out of hand. Alright, number 7 is another one of those books that's always on here. Rick and Morty number 1. You know, the first Rick and Morty. Final sale $930. 90-day average of $1,080, and it's on a downward trend. You know, they're on like a sabbatical right now. They're on a little bit of break before the next season. I'm sure when the season comes out, this will see a little bit of a spike. I see this always being around that $1,000 mark, because once the seasons keep coming out, you know, year after year, this will be relevant again. And this is from Oni Press, and you know, there aren't that many out there to begin with, so getting these in this higher grade gonna be a little bit difficult, I guess, because there isn't that many that they printed. But this seems to be a pretty safe bet long term. Now this number 6, it's kind of weird. Okay, so let me talk about this. It says 5 copies. So they have it listed as the final sale of $956. This is the Star Wars Mace Windu number 5, the first appearance of Ahsoka Tano and Asajj Ventress in Star Wars canon, in the Marvel Star Wars canon. The 90-day average is only $195. But this listing had 5 copies. So it's about, you know, it's just under $200 per copy. That's why it made the list at $956 so high. But the listing This description says 5 copies. I think this book, when the show comes out, the Ahsoka Tano show comes out, we'll definitely see a spike, because her actual first appearance in Clone Wars comic is, in the thousands. So if you can get this $200 to $300, around there, $200 is pretty good for this secondary book for Ahsoka Tano. But yeah, just keep in mind it isn't, $956 for one book. All right, number 5, we have Something is Killing the Children, number 1. Of course, this is the popular ongoing series from Boom Studios. I enjoyed the first couple volumes because I missed out on this in the beginning, so I just started reading all of the trade paperbacks, and it's really good. The final sale here is $1,000. 90-day average is $921, and it's on an upward trend. You can obviously tell. I see this book not dropping below $1,000 anytime soon, because there's also a lot of spec behind this, because even though we haven't had any kind of real news on any kind of option series for this seems like a perfect IP to be made into either a Netflix, Amazon, or even a movie theatrical release. But this book should definitely be here for a while. It's always going to be in demand, and then when we see some kind of project announced, this will definitely spike, and now it's going to be out of hand, out of reach. All right, number 4, we have Kanto number 1 from 2019. It's an ongoing series. Final sale $1,000. 90-day average is $642. Interesting to note, though, that this sale was in Canadian dollars. So that $1,000 is in Canadian dollars. So it's actually less. That's probably like $700, $750 or something like that. But this book was one of those, in the summertime, they announced it was optioned for, I think, an animated show or something like that on Netflix, and they were working on it, and we haven't heard anything since. So this kind of like out of sight, out of mind. But it was interesting to see this in the top 10 as a top sale. But then when you see that it's in Canadian dollars, then that it isn't as high as it is. But if they actually do move forward with it, and we get more news, this will definitely jump up again, because this is a tough book to get. It's from IDW, so obviously they're not going to make that many. And this is one of those books that had a printing error where it had a crease or shipping crease or something like that, where I guess they, it's affectionately called the Kanto crease. On the left side by the spine. I know mine has it, even though we try to press it out as much as we could, but it's still there a little bit, which is why I haven't really submitted in yet, because I don't think it's going to come back in 9.8. But if that's also why this book is so high, because it's hard to get it in a 9.8 because of that defect. All right, number 3, we have Edge of the Spider-Verse. Number 2, from 2014, the first appearance of Spider-Gwen. Final sale $1,880, and a 90-day average of $1,261, which is on a downward trend. I don't think that's gonna hold in the long term, because the closer we get to Across the Spider-Verse, this book will spike. I mean, you can see it's already spiking, because although this high sale of 1880 is significantly higher than the 90-day average, the books have been selling in between these two numbers over the last few weeks. So that 90-day average will probably go up a little bit, and obviously when we get that movie, this will spike. I don't see this going anywhere soon, especially if they do anything with Spider-Gwen in like the MCU or anything like that. Oh man, be ready for this book to hit that $2,000 mark. So if you have it, awesome. If you can still get it now, I would, but you have to pay a lot, especially if you're going to try to get it in the raw. People are going to try to find those 9.8s in the wild, and it's still going to be very expensive to get. All right, number 2, we have Vengeance number 1 from 2011, first appearance of America Chavez. Final sale $2,000, 90-day average $1,471. It's on an upward trend. This book is another one of those books that's been on here a few times now, and that's because now that we saw America Chavez on the Doctor Strange trailer, this book is, definitely gonna spike, or has spiked, and it's now over the $2,000 mark. I see this being tough to get just to begin with, because everybody, either they're holding on to it, or if they do have it out there, they're gonna want a lot for it. So it's gonna be tough to get at like a price that seems to be somewhat affordable, because if America Chavez appears in more MCU projects, because it is a young actress, so she could be around for a while, this book could just be spiking all the way, especially if she becomes like a mainstay in the MCU. So if you can get these in the raw for a lot cheaper, because I know in the raw right now you can probably get these in high grade $300-400 or so. I know that there was a newsstand that sold for $949 recently. I was watching that raw, but if you're going to try to do that 9.8 route, expect to pay $400 or $500 or more, which is still pretty good, because if it is going to sell for $2,000 eventually, you're doing pretty well. But of course, it's got to come back 9.8. All right, and of course, number one, to the surprise of no one once again, Ultimate Fallout number 4 from 2011, first appearance of Miles Morales. Final sale $3,100. 90-day average $2,843, which is definitely on an upward trend. This book is now firmly going to be in that $3,000 mark, I think, going forward, because when Across the Spider-Verse movie comes out, and then the second part comes out, that's going to maintain the value over $3,000. And then when, not if, when they do Miles Morales in the MCU, it's going to spike even more. I believe the days of it being under $3,000 are going to be few and far in between, in my opinion. Keep in mind that even though the average is $2,843, you also got to figure out that you're paying the various fees, whether you're paying heritage fees, you're paying eBay taxes, or shipping. So this is going to be a little bit more, because it's not calculated in all of the prices for the 90-day average. They only list the final sale. So if they're like for me, if you're buying this in California, you're gonna have to pay that 9% tax. So that's definitely gonna put this over that $3,000 mark. So I think getting this under $3,000 is going to be less and less as we keep going forward. All right, so those are the top 10. Let me know what you guys think, if Ultimate Fallout could just keep going more and more and more. If the Ahsoka Tano secondary appearance will be like the next thing to get, because her Clone Wars appearance is too much, especially when her show's coming out. And, things like Edge of Spider-Verse and Vengeance, are those going to keep going up? And we're going to have to try to find these secondary books, because right now, because of Edge of Spider-Verse is so high, Spider-Gwen number 1 has been the book everybody's been gravitating towards for her keys. So I'll do this again maybe in a couple weeks. We got to wait at least 10 days. But yeah, that's it for the modern stuff. All right, well, that's what I got. Until next time, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.